Hello, hello. Good morning, guys. How's everyone doing?
Good. How are you?
Doing
Good, how are you?
good. Doing good.
Of
Guys,
course, we get
today
theme
is-
music for the very last show.
Theme music. What?
Where has this
But
been
no, yeah.
for the last 2 months?
Hey, we got it now. We're ending with a bang. It's gonna be good. Guys, today is our last episode of the Wolfe Den. We got a huge like episode for you guys. We're collectively making a 5th park here at Walt Disney World. Oh boy. So of
But
course,
hey, Eric,
5th park.
before
Yeah.
you talk about your 5th park, do you want to
Yes.
maybe make an announcement about these parks that exist
So
already?
do you have that information? Because I'm not going to be lying. I wasn't paying attention.
Who
have
remembers the dates?
So I can.
I do.
I have it right in front of me.
We just found out that from the Orange County Economic Recovery Task Force that the Magic Kingdom and Disney's Animal Kingdom will be planning its reopening on Saturday, July 11th. Disney's Hollywood
yeah.
Studios and Epcot will be planning to reopen on Wednesday, July 15th. That's the breaking news.
And if you guys want to read more about that, there's actually, if you're in our YouTube chat, there's going to be a link right there. Allison just posted up for us, so you guys can read all about that right there. But yeah, that's like exciting. We've been cooped up. It's time to go out. It's time to explore, and it's time to have fun back at Magic Kingdom and Epcot and Hollywood and Animal Kingdom. And oh my gosh, it's gonna be a
Can't
good
wait.
time.
Speak for yourselves. We still don't know when our parks are reopening, and we've been closed longer than you.
That is true. That is true. But hey, like I said, we're gonna be doing a 5th gate here at Walt Disney World, and of course, we're gonna be making a park. So we had to have our friend Tyler come on from Ride Rehab. So he'll be actually joining us at the end of our show. Because what we're gonna do is we're gonna pitch you guys the topics. We're gonna pitch you guys the sections of the park. Collectively, we're gonna have to create an entranceway, a park icon, and then a park name. So we're gonna need chat's help with that. But yeah, let's start it off like we always do. What made you guys smile this week, Mr. Spencer? I'm gonna have you start first.
Oh gosh, what did make me smile this week? It's actually become kind of it. I guess hearing about all the good news. We came out of the state of emergency here in Tokyo on Monday. Yeah, Monday. So now it's not safe to go out whenever you want, but it's more safe. You still have to, wear the mask and obey social distancing protocols. But I can go out and eat after 8 p.m., which is nice. And I'm supposed to go and see some of my friends pretty soon. We're opening our shopping center, too. You guys got Disney Springs. Xperia is opening at Tokyo Disney Resort we fixed the layout, on June 1st. And my school is also reopening on June 1st for a little bit. So that's nice that we're starting to get back on track. Still haven't heard anything about the parks, but everything else is starting to get back on track a little bit. So that's making me smile this week.
Nice, man. That's good. Miss Allison, what is making you smile? What made you smile this week?
All right, there are 2 things. One is I went to Disney Springs the other day with some of the crew, which is very exciting. It was the first time that I was in a public space since I think it was March 13th was when I was amongst other people. I was very safe. very, very safe. And I got a balloon for Winnie the Pooh. I don't know if I can.
Oh,
You might have seen
yeah.
him on Instagram. And then the second thing was yesterday. We haven't been able to see the kids in the school that I work at since mid-March, and we had like a little car parade thing, and we were able to wave to each other. So I got to see a couple of the kids, which was very, very sweet.
That's cool. Oh, I love that so much. Miss Jelly, what made you smile this week?
Well, before, the apocalypse, me and my best friend used to go to this vegan festival once a month, and obviously it's been canceled. And they just announced a couple of days ago that they are opening back their brunch market every Sunday in July. And so
Very cool.
in June, not July, in June. So very much looking forward to that, not just because I love to eat food, but also just because it was like a thing we always did and we haven't been able to do it. So just like, it's nice. It's like a good group of people. So yeah.
Well, that's awesome.
That's
Guys,
great.
what made me smile this week, so I had the opportunity with Jelly as well. She joined me. We joined Colleen and Colleen's Craft Corner, and we talked all about cosplay. Yeah, so it was myself, it was Jelly, it was Shannon, and it was Colleen, and that honestly made me smile. I haven't been able to talk cosplay or like even like think about cosplay kind of thing. It's weird. I love doing it, and that was a really good time. And if you guys have not seen that episode of Colleen's Craft Corner, you guys can go on to our WDWNT YouTube channel. It's going to be right there for you. And yeah, that's honestly what made me smile this week. It was awesome to get to know, a little bit more about everyone's like cosplay. I guess you can say like history kind of thing. We shared photos. And then we shared like just like small little tips, small little tricks, that we've learned over the years of how to do cosplay. And we talked a little bit of like what cosplay kind of means, and we shared viewer submitted photos, which was amazing as well, because they honestly just blew me away. The amazing talent that this community has.
Well as a photo of Miss Allison.
That's right. Miss Allison was there.
There was a picture from where?
We did your picture.
Or the tightrope walker?
No, it was the tightrope walker. Yes.
It was the tightrope walker. I couldn't remember if it was a Christmas time bell or the tightrope walker. I could just see the colors in my head, and it's the similar color palette.
Oh, man. But yep. Guys, talking about creative community, I'm actually I'm really happy that we were able to, make this creative community right here on the Wolfe Den and have some amazing creative people on this show. And we've been able to just dream up and just talk about different subjects, different things. And yeah, guys, we have to make up a 5th park here at Walt Disney World. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to throw it off to, let's say here, we're going to throw it off to Miss Allison. Miss Allison, can you share with us what your 5th park is all, or what your section for the 5th park is going to be all about? Yes.
Okay. So I decided to make my section Disney's seasons.
Very cool.
So all of my attractions and my dining options are going to be themed on different seasons. So like some, there's going to be different sorts of seasonal food options, and then the attractions are going to be about seasons that we might experience here in the United States, or maybe elsewhere, because elsewhere in the world they don't have necessarily 4 seasons. Some places will have 2 seasons. So I feel like having a section based on seasons is relatable to anybody, can be enjoyed by any age. is very flexible, and I feel that things can be changed or swapped out relatively easily, and you can theme things to different seasons also pretty easily. Different meet and greet characters, your foods, your attractions, your shows. I feel like it's going to be pretty easy to incorporate lots of different concepts into a section that's about different seasons.
I like that. I really, really like that. Spencer, tell us a little bit about your section for this fifth park.
So it's difficult for me a little bit to start thinking of things. And so I went and started watching Disney movies and like kind of scrolling through my library the other day and just watching little bits and pieces. And my first idea, I originally had thought of a Tron Land, but we already have Light Cycle Power Run, so that won't work. My next idea is I kept going through Disney movies and I ran across one film series that I feel like is tragically underrepresented in the Disney canon, and that is the Chronicles of Narnia. It's such a rich universe. There's so much you could do with it. I really feel like a Narnia land would be this beautiful, immersive experience like Pandora in its own way. There's so much you could do with it.
I like that. So I started thinking, initially when I thought of this, I was like, okay, I'm going to go with villains. I've been thinking about villains. I would really love to do just like a whole villain section of a park. And then I was like, I don't know. I couldn't come up with a great, concept to like bring all of them together kind of thing. And then I thought of, so I love Disney's magical, beings, I guess you can say, like Merlin, the Blue Fairy, the Three Good Fairies, stuff like that, a genie. And then I was like, man, how can I incorporate that maybe to like a park section? I'm going to tell you the truth. I couldn't think about it either. Couldn't. And then listening to music, I was like, oh my gosh, I got it. I'm doing San Francisco from Big Hero 6. Yes. I know.
Wrong time to take a drink. That was the wrong time to take a drink because I just like.
Yup, I had a feeling Miss Allison would love this idea. Like the whole city as a whole is so rich. There's so many things to do, and I've had ideas in the past about incorporating science that I was like, you know what, this would be a really, really good place, and I can do stuff that I've been thinking about. Why hasn't Disney done something like this already? So, so San Francisco is my section of my park.
Why didn't I think of this? I want to throw my idea out the window and just go with Eric's now. Mine's garbage compared to yours.
Oh man,
I'm jealous.
I would love to.
Yeah, Spencer.
I was just going to say, I'm really excited to hear what your Big Hero 6 ride idea is, because it's got to be better than alien swirling saucers reskinned with Baymax that we're getting.
I'll take that. I'll take anything from that.
There's two attractions, so one is definitely better. Ooh. I would say.
Okay.
Oh man, Jilly, what's your whole section of the park?
So I went through a lot of different things, but I couldn't actually build an idea off of it. And then I kind of started thinking of Epcot festivals and kind of pulled an idea from there. And I had the idea to do an entire land dedicated to art. So, I mean, I think the basis of what Walt Disney World started as was art and animation and stuff. And so there's so many different things that are considered art, not just like animation or sketching. You know, there's so many different categories out there. Oh, here we go. So this is also something that I thought of when creating this, like visually. When I was in Australia in Melbourne, I went to Hosier Lane, and it's just decorated with a whole bunch of street art. And I mean, I found it to be really beautiful. And so I kind of wanted the actual park to kind of look like this, but obviously Disney-fied. So a lot of like Disney street art, paint drips all over the floor, just like something to kind of make it more urban and really like bring like a creative thing, something different than Disney has. Like, so yeah, that was me in Australia.
Nice.
Very
so
cool.
that was my idea.
Do you have
like
red
that.
hair in that picture?
I do have red hair in that picture, yes. I have slight red hair currently, although it looks very brown in this light.
Okay, I was confused by that for a second.
Yes. This was also like 6 years ago, so.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's cool. I like that. I like the fact that you went like you took something that you already kind of love in something that we have, and you kind of just went all over with it, you know, like.
Yeah.
I like that. Let's see here. Let's talk. Does everyone have like a restaurant idea? It could be more than one. But if we have like a restaurant idea, you know, people need to eat somewhere. Miss Allison, we'll start off with you, and then we'll go the same. We'll go same turn. So Spencer, myself, and then Jilly.
Okay.
Yes.
Now I have an idea for a very loose idea for a restaurant, and I also have a very detailed idea for a food cart. So are we talking just the
okay.
restaurants, or are we talking any food?
No, you can pitch us all your food.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you my more detailed one about the food cart. I want it to be, and Colleen's going to be very excited about this, a honey cart. So because and a lot of people don't know this, but when you are getting honey from bees, depending on when you take the honey, the flavor and the color of the honey is going to be very different from when you harvest it in the spring, summer, or fall, because different flowers are going to be blooming in different seasons. What the bees are gathering are going to be from different flowers, so the honey is going to look and taste very different. So the honey that you get in the fall is going to be a much darker color and a little bit more, not quite as sweet. It has a little bit more of an earthy taste to it. And then the spring, the summer is going to be a little bit more sweet. So I kind of want to have a food cart that is going to have different flavors of honey and different like types of honey offered, as well as different sorts of honey-based pastries and drink options for the guests. And then next, like a small little display, like showing you the different kinds of honey, what they look like, and then a little bit of information about bees and beekeeping. So that's my honey cart, and that's one of my favorite things that I thought of for my section.
Yeah, that's cool. I like the fact that like you were able to research the fact that honey has like so many different like varieties and stuff, and to have that offered would be so cool. Would you have like a honey flight so you can taste like the different honeys?
Yeah, I would love to have something like that. And then you can like how people have like wine flights, and you'd be like, oh, this is from, Italy, this is from France, this is a blah, and it can be kind of like that, but like a honey tasting. They have something kind of like that in the Savannah Bee Company store in Springs, and they have all different kinds. So I want to do something kind of like that, but a honey tasting that you can buy.
I love that. I love that.
So that's my honey cart.
Any questions for her about the honey cart?
No questions. That's just really awesome.
Would it be like just honey, or would there be like artificially flavored honeys for the season? Like, I don't know.
Pumpkin spice honey.
Genuine question. Pumpkin spice honey. There you go.
Hey.
I haven't thought too much about that. My idea was that like any sort of like honey glazed pastries or something like that. Like if you're going there in the springtime, like the honey glaze that they use is going to be like springtime harvested honey. So you're going to get, or like in the fall, it's going to be like the fall honey. So even though the pastries themselves are not going to change, the flavor of what you're getting from, March to October, they're going to taste a little bit different. So you can change your offerings without really changing the physical offerings too much. So you don't have to really swap out too many things, which I think is going to be cost effective. I thought a lot about this honey cart.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's a good idea. Yeah.
What would it look like? Would it be like a big beehive? Do you think?
So what I was thinking, when you're keeping bees, when beekeepers are keeping bees, the hive, like a bee, I don't remember if I'm mixing it up, but I believe that the beehive is like that wooden box that you keep the bees in. So I would want the booth to be kind of shaped like that, which is very simple, and it's not too unlike a regular food booth or cart would be. And then with the display, the small educational display would be kind of like what the bees would make in the wild. So it's not, I don't think in the wild it's called a beehive. I think it's like I don't remember what it's called, but I think it's just like a nest or something more generic. If I'm incorrect, please somebody correct me. I know Colleen might be listening, so if I know Colleen knows a lot about bees, so if I'm incorrect in this, please let me know. But I know that they're at least called different things in the wild versus when you're keeping bees.
Okay, but that's cool, yeah, because it'll be themed, but at the same time, very simple looking. Which I think appeals to Disney sometimes when they're like, oh, we don't need to really, really theme it that much. But the simple theming will still be theming just enough for it.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Someone in the chat said, name it, What's the Buzz?
Ah, that's such a good name.
Oh, that's good.
There's so many bee puns, just so many.
Right.
And then Colleen can be the mascot, I think. Or spokesperson. Spokesbee?
Just like her face on like an animated bee body, like.
Can we have her
Colleen,
face
can
on
we get your consent for this?
we need Colleen to sign off on it.
I have to book Tom hotels so he can stay at Disney when he lives 5 minutes away. He's very busy.
Oh, great.
Oh, sorry. It's a busy bee. That's it. The busy bee cart. The busy bee cafe. I don't know, something.
There we go. Well, talking about
that's my cart. I'm very excited about it.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. Why don't you tell us about your other food option?
Okay. So, I don't have too many thoughts in my brain about my restaurant, but I know that I want to serve. I want it to be similar to the Garden Grill in the Land. I want it to have some similarities to that, except how I want it to be is I'm not sure if I'd want it to turn or not, But what I really want it to
Ooh.
be is I want you to feel like you're in some kind of forest, not as foresty as like the Rainforest Cafe, but I want there to be like some kind of, trees around you. And as you are eating, I want the leaves on the trees to change colors. And I think that would be really, really beautiful to sit and eat your meal. And like every, 15 or 20 minutes, you kind of look up and you're like, oh, like the leaves are kind of starting to change to like a reddish color. Or, oh, it looks like, like you can kind of start to see like maybe you hear different kinds of birds calling from like the trees or something like that. So that's how I kind of wanted it to be. And I want the food to, I don't know what kind of, I would guess kind of like very healthy, homegrown foods, similar to how they have a lot of the ingredients in the Garden Grill from the land itself. So I want it to be have some similarities to that. And then, every season, I guess they have like a main dish that will change according to season. So in the winter, you're going to have one that's a little bit more based in different kinds of like root vegetables, squashes, that kind of stuff. And in the spring, you're going to have, specials that involve, strawberries, blueberries, that kind of thing. So that's kind of the feel that I want my restaurant to have.
Very cool. Would let's see here. Someone mentioned
with the,
I think it might have been
season. Would the seasons changing thing kind of be like artist or animator's palette on the cruise line?
Yeah, I was kind of picturing something like that to kind of have the background kind of start to change, like how in the palette has, and then kind of where in the cruise they have like the pillars that look like paintbrushes, except instead of having paintbrushes, it would be trees instead.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, that is cool. Someone mentioned a name. I think they were saying like Seasons of Change could be a good name for it.
That's a good one.
Someone also mentioned maybe theming it to like the 100 Acre Woods.
That's cute.
Actually, talking about the
There's
100 Acre Woods,
dining tie-in right there.
would you do a character dine-in or would it not be character dine-in? What do you think?
I was thinking to I kind of like there are certain table service restaurants where it's character dining for part of the day but not the other part of the day, where you can have a character breakfast, but then lunch and dinner it would be non-character. So that's kind of how I'm feeling, like have it be maybe, I don't know if having the Winnie the Pooh characters would be too much, like, okay, well, Crystal Palace already has Winnie the Pooh, so I don't know if I necessarily, I mean, I would love to have Winnie the Pooh characters, super cute, but Crystal Palace already has that. Something a little bit different. Maybe, I'm trying to think, maybe Pocahontas or maybe Robin Hood. Those are some fun characters.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That would be kind of cool. Like, just like, right? You can have Pocahontas, like, who meets? Pocahontas, Miku, Governor Radcliffe. No, just...
Oh. You have villains in some of the, I mean, they have the evil stepsisters, right? 1900 Park Fair, you can meet those buds.
That's true.
So you can have
your center
dining
tree can be
Grandmother Willow?
the grandmother. Yeah.
Oh, that would be kind of cool too.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
That would be pretty cool. I like that.
Brother
yeah.
Bear too. You can have some Brother Bear characters. You kind of see like it's kind of a woodsy feel.
Yeah.
Those characters are
just, like,
horribly underutilized.
Right.
They're cute. They're
Maybe
super
just have
cute.
like all the characters. Yeah. That's cool. I like that. So let's say you are gonna do characters. Let's pick 5 characters. What do you think, Miss Allison? 5 characters for your
I want Miko. I'm gonna say, yeah, I like Miko. Miko's super cute. He's fun. He's very playful. So I kind of like that. Like I can picture Miko kind of going up to the guests and kind of being like, "Oh, let me take your food," and like trying to eat it, trying to run away with it. I think it'd be very cute. Especially if it's like for a character breakfast, breakfast biscuits. Like Miko's all about that.
Yeah. I like that. That's cute.
I'd like I like the Brother Bear characters. What are there? Is it Coda and
Kenai?
Yeah.
Kenai, yeah. I would like to have those two. So that's 3.
That's 3, yep.
Other set of woodland characters.
A lot of people are liking the Robin Hood.
I kind of I like Robin Hood. Let's put Robin Hood.
Yeah,
in
Robin
there.
Hood and Brother John. Yeah.
And either John or Maid Marian.
Robin Hood and Little John walking through the forest.
So I think I'm gonna do Robin Hood, Maid Marian, Coda, Miko, and what was the other bear?
Kenai,
yeah. So I think that's my 5.
Nice. Ooh, someone thought about. They were like, if this is all gonna be like woodland creatures, and the meeting, you can do those characters. It could be called Forest Point.
Oh, interesting. I like that. Oh, everybody has such great ideas. I love this.
Right? Yeah. I like it. Well, that's cool, Miss Allison. I like those ideas. I really do. And again, they complement your overall theme so well. I really like that.
Thank you.
So yeah, let's go to Spencer. Spencer, what are we gonna eat in Narnia? What are we eating?
Well,
there?
I don't have an idea. I don't have an idea for menus, but I know how I'd like to theme my restaurants.
Yeah.
I've got 2. I've got a quick service, and I've got a signature, like a table service. I'm mostly going to be leaning into the first film, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Although that's mostly because one of my ideas only makes sense if they ever made a movie out of The Magician's Nephew. I had like this great idea for a table service. This is just an idea. It's not going to be my official one, although it can be if the chat likes this. My original idea for my table service was that it was going to be themed to the wood between the worlds and The Magician's Nephew, where you could sit in Kirk's attic, or in the ruined city where the White Witch comes from, or at the very beginning of Narnia with like the field and the lampposts and stuff, or in the wood between the worlds, and like all these different pools with the different worlds pools that would lead into different dining rooms. I thought that would be it's kind of like Be Our Guest. I thought it'd be a really cool idea.
That Be Our Guest has those different sections, but then they overall like it's still Beast Castle. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. My other signature restaurant idea was less cool because it requires a little bit of suspension of disbelief. But it was that you have there's 2 castles in the first Narnia movie. You have the castle where the Pevensies become kings and queens, and then you have the White Witch's castle. So I thought it would be cool if you smash them together into one restaurant. But in that one restaurant, you have 2 different menus. One for the Cair Paravel, where the Pevensies rule, and then another menu for the White Witch's castle.
Oh, nice.
I don't know exactly how these menus would divide up, but they would be the same restaurant, like just divided off a little bit. But they'd like have
cool
thematically
idea,
different food. That's the idea that I had for the signature restaurant.
That's cool.
Nice. Yeah.
Very cool.
I like the fact that it's like that it's so different. Yeah.
Yeah, like it was just it all came together very quickly. Like once I thought like Narnia, so underutilized. I was like, okay, here's where we could put food, and here's the attractions, and here's where we could shop. Like all these different ideas just came together.
Universal has. Oh, sorry. Universal has in the Wizarding World, they have the Great Feast, I think it is, or the Big Feast. It's in Three Broomsticks, but it's essentially like a family meal of like four for four. So they have like mashed potatoes, they have I think corn, and then they have like chicken and salad and stuff like that. I feel like that would be such like a good option there, like in the Narnia section, because it is very like medieval kind of thing. I like that though.
Yeah. And then the quick service, it's more of a counter where you sit outside, but you know, it's still quick service because there's still food. It's not like a snack bar or anything. But it's because it has to be outside. It's in the first movie they have the stone table where they kill and sacrifice Aslan, and I thought it's the stone table. That's a restaurant right there. You eat at the stone table. I thought that was great.
So with that'll just be meats. Like that's it. That's all you can eat there at the stone table.
Why not?
Oh my gosh,
so dark.
That's where they'll sell the turkey legs in our park. We'll sell the turkey legs in your
best. It was the easiest idea. Like, it's the stone table. That's what it is. Turn it into a restaurant. I feel like if I didn't do that, it would be such a missed opportunity.
I don't disagree with you there. Oh my gosh, it's funny. Oh, let's see here.
So yeah, those are my food ideas.
Oh man, I like that. Does anyone have anything to add to his food ideas? Or any questions?
No questions? No additions?
Nope.
Really?
So you would like you would have this restaurant like physically like divided, right? So like would it be kind of like, you know, like you walk up here and it's this theme, you walk this, it's this theme. Now are you booking restaurant like, and you're specifying which one you want to be seated at because they do have different menus? Or is it like you book the restaurant and then you're seated kind of according to wherever availability, and like that's what you kind of get when you book? You don't know.
I mean, probably because a lot of people would complain if there wasn't a choice given. Since there's different menus, you probably have to offer the option to choose. They're more together for the reason to save space more than anything else. Because in the film they are quite far apart, but you know, you only have so much space to work with in a theme park land. So just for space saving reasons, it would be in the same place, and you would branch off into the two different castles for wherever you would want to eat.
Interesting.
Well, actually, because you said that
for space saving reasons, so that you wouldn't have to like build sorry, Eric, just one thing.
No, you're good.
So that you wouldn't have to like shove two castles next to each other. The entrance would be like through a cave a little bit, so that you wouldn't have to build these two giant castle facades that just don't look right next to each other at all. You would like go through a cave, and then you'd be like, oh yeah, it's the back entrance to these castles, and you like go into one or the other.
Well, it's funny. I was gonna mention. So Tyler and I worked on 4 park layouts that we'll talk about a little bit later. Because after we pitch our parks, we also need to figure out a park layout. And some sections of the parks are not all equal. So there are some sections of some of these parks that are a little bit bigger than others. So you can definitely, you know, have both of those castles in your area. Yeah, I will say that. I'll hint that. Because we can all figure out what layout we want a little bit later. But yeah, so I don't know. You can have them. And you know what I was thinking too? Would it be cool to have like just one giant building, but then also separate them So technically speaking, everyone will go to the exact same place, but then in that building there are 2 restaurants. Like, let's say they're not one and then you're choosing. You're just essentially going to one restaurant or going to the other restaurant.
Yeah, I think that sounds reasonable. Of course, the idea isn't fully fleshed out, so there's always room for improvements or suggestions. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, why not?
That would be cool. Well, guys, I have some ideas. Now, the thing with my section is that I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't have to be that creative for these restaurants. So these restaurants, one of my restaurants, and I'm doing both, are going to be quick service. I'm not having a signature dining experience in my section. So the first one that I have is Lucky Cat Cafe, which is the aunt's, restaurant or little cafe area in the movie. Yeah. Oh, I can't wait now.
Oh no, what is she doing? What is she doing?
Hold on. Wait.
Oh.
Okay, here.
This is a bit.
Yes.
Aww. It's the cat.
Right
Whose
there.
name I forgot.
Mochi.
Oh, it's
That is going
Mochi.
to be
That's
the-
right.
I had to bring Mochi.
That's going to be the icon.
Be here now.
The Lucky Cat Cafe logo will have Mochi on it. But yeah, so like
That's pretty good.
this restaurant's already kind of made in the movies, so I really didn't have to search or be that creative for this. Now the food that we're gonna offer is gonna be a little bit different. I'm thinking of having kind of like Asian fusion food, but also have a lot of different like sushi rolls. So I know like here in Orlando we have Universal Studios, and in Universal Studios there is Cowfish, and Cowfish has some things called oh my gosh, what is they called now? Burgushis. They're called burgushis, and they're basically like a mixture of like a hamburger and like a sushi kind of thing. So I was thinking that would be kind of fun to have, to kind of like mix, both the American and the Asian, influences into kind of one, and we can have different kind of like soups of just different things. I think that would be kind of fun, like really fun. And then we have to have ramen. We're gonna have some ramen in this place, and we're gonna have some boba. Yeah, Adam just as soon as I said it, Adam put it in the chat. Yes, boba tea as well. We'll have some bubble tea.
You're creating my food heaven right now of like all the things I'm addicted to, like sushi and ramen and boba. Like I'm never gonna leave this land.
Me too.
No, we'll definitely do that. And then I have from the TV show. The TV show has Noodle Burger. So there's like a fast food chain called Noodle Burger. So I was like, oh my gosh, we have to have a Noodle Burger in this. So Noodle Burger will have I'm thinking of like a burger flavored noodle cup. I think that's from the TV show as well, if I'm not mistaken. Thing that, the one thing that we're known for at Noodle Burger is hamburgers, but instead of the bun, it's ramen. So it's ramen blocks instead of the bun. We'll have that as well. And then they have something called they have something called a cock-a-noodle-do burger, which is our specialty breakfast burger.
What?
Yep.
Right.
Noodle do burger.
Sounds great.
Hold on a second. What?
Yep, it's our breakfast burger. So instead
Love
of
it.
you'll still have the ramen, but instead of the meat, you'll have like a sausage, or you can have an egg on top of that and stuff like that. I'm like, hey, it'll just be a sausage,
Oh my God.
like a breakfast version of it.
This is incredible and weird, and I don't know how to feel about this.
Now, I have a cart. I will say that I have a cart, and my cart is the only thing that I can think of that I was like, ooh, this would be fun. Have you guys seen? And I don't even know what it is, and I didn't even know how to like really search it, like to figure out what the heck it was. But it's essentially these balls of like, I don't know if they're frozen. I don't know what they are, but you like eat them, and then you can like blow smoke.
Oh, the dragon's breath things.
Oh.
Whatever those are called, yeah.
Yeah.
This is a thing?
That's a thing. And I was just
Yeah,
like, I've
they
never
have
had it.
They're called liquid nitrogen puffs. They're also called dragon's breath. Yeah, they're cereal balls with a little bit of flavor. When you eat them, it produces vapors that you can like blow out your nose and your mouth. There's a mall back in Oklahoma that sells them.
There we go. Like, I know I've seen them at I want to say in Florida Mall, but then at the same time, I was very much like, I don't know what the heck that is. But all I know is that like people eat them, and then it's like, I'm a dragon. So I was like, yo,
Do, Eric?
I'm a dragon. I'm like, that would be
incredible.
something cool to have. And I want that as like a little cart. It'll look like a little ice cream cart,
I love it.
but I want that. And
cute.
to answer Adam, yes, there's gonna be like Japanese candy. We'll have a candy store, and it'll just have like a bunch of stuff from like all over, and we'll have specialty candy too that we make that just like mix just like different things.
Crazy Japanese candy is awesome, and I encourage you to tell everyone about it.
Yeah,
Love it.
So it's funny
Love it all.
because like I thought about it, and it was one of these things that I was like, man, like a lot of people go crazy for like Japanese like kind of aesthetic and like food and stuff like that, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm like, that'll be cool.
That's a really cool idea.
But
This
yeah,
old man sounds very yummy.
that's my place. That's my food options.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around the noodle burger thing with the cock-a-noodle-doo. Like, it just, that name is throwing me off. I can't take it seriously.
That's the point, though. That's the point.
It's a good idea. Like, I really do like it. It's just I can't get over the name.
I'll be honest. I didn't make up the name. That comes from the TV show. I did not make up that name. I wish I did, because that's a great name.
No, it's fantastic.
That's perfect. Perfect name.
I wish I would have come up with it. Oh man, Jilly, what do you got going in your art section?
All right, so I've kind of fleshed out a sit-down restaurant, and I kind of want it to be like you are dining in like an experimental chef's kitchen. So kind of like a wacky environment. I had half thought like maybe you're dining in like an art museum, but I feel like that kind of ambiance would make me very uncomfortable, like such a sleek, clean ambiance. So instead, I wanted to be a little bit more like rustic, like you're in this crazy, like almost like a mad scientist, but he's an experimental chef's kitchen. And For the food, I kind of want it to be like two kind of foods combined. So for example, I go to this great restaurant called The Sanctum down here in Winter Park, and they make this salad that is supposed to be like a Reuben, but it's a salad. So it has, so you would have like lettuce, but a Thousand Island dressing, sauerkraut, turkey, and like a rye croutons. So like different ways of making the same food. Some other things I put on my menu was a taco lasagna, if you will. So like layer it with like a corn tortilla, but it's made with like taco meat instead, and put some shredded cheese on top instead of like a mozzarella cheese. So you got like a taco lasagna.
Okay.
Yes. Another thing, I have a couple more things. Pizza nachos, which I made for Eric.
Yeah.
So obviously just take like, instead of like a tortilla chip, you could take like a plain, like a potato chip type situation, and like do it with some like meat sauce, mozzarella cheese. You can also put like the spring rolls on the menu from the spring roll cart, because I think that's you know, your and
we have somewhere else to go.
Exactly. And my last thing, which I actually wrote down like 10 minutes before because Colleen said she liked potatoes. I wanted to make like my like piece of resistance, a banana split, except it's bangers and mash.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
Huh.
So you would have like 2 sausages, and then you would have like 3 scoops of 3 different types of potatoes. So you can have a sweet potato, a russet potato, and like a Japanese purple. Is it Japanese purple sweet potato? You would know this, Spencer. Yes. Drizzle it with gravy would be like the syrup, and then like top it with like a mushroom head because you have that mushroom gravy. And yeah, so that's kind of what I want. Just like be experimental with how you're serving your food. It's just something a little different. Thank you. I kind of made myself very hungry making this menu. And
Julie, it's 1 o'clock in the morning, and your banana split bangers and mash idea makes me want to like figure out how to make that right now. Like that, I'm so hungry now.
It sounds glorious. I love some bangers.
It sounds so good.
So, thank you.
Julie, it's so funny that you said that, because go ahead, Miss Allison.
So what's funny is that what's funny is that in commercials and stuff, instead if they're taking pictures or filming, for their advertising scoops of ice cream, they use mashed potatoes instead because it lights. So you can get mashed potatoes to look exactly like ice cream, and it'll look exactly like ice cream sundae with your mashed potato.
Cool.
That's so true.
Yeah.
Gross.
Hello, Tyler.
Hello.
Tyler, man.
So Tyler, I'm gonna be honest, we're not fully fleshed out yet. We haven't figured out our park as of right now, but we're still working on it, and we'll have a full, complete park for you. And okay.
Well, do you need an extra section? Because I could certainly jump in with something.
We actually do. We have 5 sections of our park, and one of our panelists hasn't able to join us. So yeah, great. We have pitched the overall theme of our park, or of our section, and then we are talking right now about restaurants or like food options. So Jilly is finishing up with her food. She's pitching that right now. But when we get to you, you can pitch your theme and then food.
All right.
Cool. Jilly, what else do you got that's going to make us want to eat something right now?
So, for like a cart, I have a big sweet tooth. So I wanted to have a cart that sold cakes in a jar.
Ooh.
So kind of like a deconstructed type situation, like they have at Festival of the Arts. There's a place in Winter Park that sells cakes in a jar, and I've always been fascinated by it. So I think that would be like a cool thing to do, and you can like theme it around like almost like it's coming in like a paint jar, but it's cake.
I like that.
Yeah, and so you can have different options: carrot cake, chocolate cake, peanut butter cake. You know, so yeah, that's kind of like food stuff.
Jilly is speaking to the fat foodie in me so much. Like I want to eat everything in this land.
Yay. Thank you. I kind of want to eat
You have at least
too.
one loyal customer.
Hey guys, just really quick. There's like this really big, like storm coming in through Orlando. If by any chance we do get off the air by chance, we're completely sorry. We'll try to do something, if we do. But as of right now, we are still on. But I just wanted to let you guys know that just in case anything does happen, okay? But until then, and if then, we keep on going.
It's okay. Tyler and I can carry the show if you guys, mess up.
Yeah, I love being thrown into the seat of a host randomly.
Guys, the world is ending outside. Like, I mean, three of you are in Orlando. I assume it is this loud at your homes as well?
It is, yeah.
I just looked on Twitter. Didn't they just open Disney Springs on Twitter and Tom was tweeting blue sky sunny pictures? What the heck happened?
It's Florida.
Yeah.
It started to rain.
Yeah.
That's
all right then.
That's how we roll here.
It's like
people are still
35.
waiting in line in the storm.
It's like 85 degrees here in Canada, and we have a heat warning, so that's fun.
Wasn't it just snowing
60...
2 or 3 weeks ago for you, Tyler?
It was snowing a week and a half ago. It's insane.
It's crazy.
It's 68 degrees now. It's 1:08 a.m. and I have my window open so I can save money on air conditioning because there's no crazy weather right now.
Oh, lucky.
Sounds wonderful.
It's like the one time of the year when Tokyo calms down a little bit. Most of the year it kind of goes back and forth. We had at the beginning of April, right when the lockdown started, we had a week where it snowed on Sunday and it was 33 degrees out. And then the following Wednesday, it was 71 degrees. And I went out to the park to go walking. And I was texting my friends. I'm like, can you believe that it just snowed 3 days ago? We had this weird up and down thing going for a couple of weeks. It was the weirdest thing.
So how are you weatherproofing your park?
That's a good
We'll put a giant canopy. We'll put a giant canopy over the entrance, just like they did here for some inexplicably stupid reason.
You guys didn't know San Francisco was actually indoors? Yeah, you guys didn't know that?
Actually, I think out of all of the
happening.
I think out of all of the lands, I was about to say Miss Allison's is probably the one that could be indoored the most. Because then you could really get immersive with the seasons.
You could actually make it snow.
Yeah, there you go.
Perpetually nighttime. Like that neon kind of look. Just do that all the way, all the way, all the time.
All the time. Well, Jilly, do you have anything else to add to your foods?
No, that was all of my food.
Yeah.
I wrote down something, and I don't know what it means now. At the time, I know it meant something. I don't know what it means now, so we're just gonna have to skip it.
Now I have to know. What did you write?
I just wrote chocolate berry.
Yeah.
I guess it was a dessert idea I had, and I thought that would be enough to remind me what it was, and it's not.
I mean, I'm on board. Anything with chocolate and berries is usually pretty good.
Yeah.
So whatever it is.
That's all you need. That's it.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Well, no, that sounds good.
Selling melted chocolate and a bunch of berries, and then you can like make your own like chocolate covered berries.
It's like a river of chocolate. It's a river of chocolate, like in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah, maybe that's what was in my head.
Jelly, I will say, like, I like the fact that your food options are very like. It's not that they're like out there, because they're known things and things that people enjoy, but the way that you present them in a new and in a fun, artistic way, really lends itself really well to your section.
Instagram worthy.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah. Now that you said that, Miss Allison, like everyone's gonna want to take pictures at like Jilly's walls. And, you know, everyone's going to be taking pictures of her food and stuff. Oh, my gosh, yeah.
That's really why I created it, just to get on the ground.
You know, yeah.
It's okay. Jilly can take all of the Instagram people while everyone else just, like, keeps the pathways open and, like, doesn't get in the way. No vloggers in our lands. They'll all be drawn to Jilly's.
Oh, man. Tyler, just to recap for you just a little bit. So Spencer's section of the park is actually themed to Narnia. Then
I know. I've been watching.
Oh, okay, cool.
I got it. Sweet. Unless you want to recap for everyone else who's watching or just jumped into
recap really quick for everyone else then. So we got Spencer's themed area is going to be Narnia. Then we have Miss Allison's as Disney Seasons. Myself, I have a San Francisco themed area based on Big Hero 6. And Jilly has an art themed section of the park. Tyler, what themed section do you think you'll have for the park here?
This is stuff I think about all the time. We just did a ride rehab on Adventureland, and it gave me huge inspiration. I love jungle, I love adventure, I love exploration, and there's already something Disney has that encapsulates that, but they haven't done it yet in the parks anywhere specifically. So mine would be the sort of headquarters or jungle base of the Society of Explorers and Adventurers. I pictured this being like Adventureland 2.0, like a sort, like if Mystic Manor, like the sort of Mystic Point area of that met Adventureland with like Animal Kingdom, like a little bit of everything. What is he about to bring up? Oh my God!
That's all I care about. It is I just want to. I will brag about this very briefly. For the Disney Sea 18th anniversary, they did a bunch of merchandise themed to sea, and so they put out this notebook that looks like the menu at Magellan's, and like the pages inside, like have cool stuff. So I just want to. It's the only thing I have this as sea, so I had to bring it out. Because
so I can't buy that off you then.
No, I bought this for myself. It's still in the wrapper because I want to keep it.
Okay. I guess I can always make a note.
If you come across two other ones, please let Tyler and myself know.
Yes, please. But yeah, I would for like the area, like I was picturing like a bunch of different like buildings and or like amalgamations. Is that the right word? Amalgamations of like multiple cultures, sort of like if you took all of Animal Kingdom and you squashed it together. Somebody's like building a house outside, and like I loved the Adventurers Club reunion we did at Stage 89, and those, like, I always love live entertainment, and I was thinking like Adventureland doesn't have any meet and greets, so it'd be super cool if you could actually like meet and greet the characters from Sea, or like the Adventurers Club characters if they were just walking around, or like, you know how they told you that when Star Wars Land opened there was going to be this reputation system, and then they did none of that. Maybe something like that. Where like, or like, oh my god, what was it called? Disneyland people. There was a big Thunder Mountain like alternate reality game that they did where you were supposed to like do little tasks for characters around Frontierland, and then you would like get gold coins to vote on who would get the rights to Big Thunder. It was the inspiration for the RPG episode. But there was this week or month-long event where they did this every day. They'd reset it, and then there was a bunch of characters and stuff. I don't remember what that was called, but if somebody remembers, please let me know. Something like that, where there's like some kind of event happening throughout the day, and you can always walk by, join in, get little like fetch quests and stuff. Like if the pirate adventure in Adventureland was like a little bit more robust, but still like Legends of Frontierland. That's what it was called. That was such a fantastic idea, and I would love to see them do something more like that. Because like sorcerers, like you don't really see that many people playing sorcerers, so it is kind of like this secret thing, and it really does make you feel like you're doing something like a secret mission and trying to find all these portals and stuff. Like something like that, but spread across an entire land, I guess.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that. I love sea, just anything about it. There's some like weird rumors that the Jungle Cruise movie might like incorporate or start something for sea, and I'm like, if they do it right, I'm okay with it. Like, so
they'll do it like this. Doctor Strange, where the movie will be completely normal, and then right at the end they'll be like, "Oh, you can use an Infinity Stone? What's that? Nothing." That like ruined Doctor Strange for me, honestly. But yeah, I'm fine if they do that, but like, don't try and make, like, we're making an entire universe and we're gonna start with this movie. It's like, just make one good movie and then decide later.
For the record, though, if they decide to make a sea cinematic universe, I will not oppose them making a Harrison Hightower movie. That would be awesome. I would love to see them like go all out with that theme.
Oh yeah,
no,
I mean,
like,
honestly,
that'll be a whole different
that's just
episode.
Right. that could be on another show. Wink, wink. But yeah. So Spencer.
Oh, restaurant.
Not Spencer. Yeah. What would your food options kind of be? Do you have a restaurant idea?
I have a restaurant.
Idea, anything? Cool.
I went to Skipper Canteen and I loved the theming. And I remember that when you go in, the idea of that is that it's like former Jungle Cruise skippers are your hosts. And I was thinking, like, cool. How can you make that the idea of like eating in a sea or adventure themed restaurant? How can you make eating in a restaurant adventurous? And I came up with what I think is my favorite idea. You know, the rotating restaurant that's at the Land Pavilion?
Yeah.
What's it called? Garden Grill. And you can sort of look down into these scenes as it rotates around. I was thinking something like that, but mixed with like the sort of turntable idea they have for like Rise of the Resistance. No spoilers. But so like, so like you're on some kind of riverboat or you're on a Jungle Cruise ship. The experience of eating at the restaurant would start with them like walking you across a bridge like onto the actual like restaurant space, which is rotating through either video screens to make it feel like you're traveling farther than you actually are, or actual physical show sets. So like you can see like jungles as you pass by, and maybe like some animatronic scenes or stuff happens. Maybe there's like a few different options for each scene so that if you pass by it a second time, it's never the same thing happening twice. I thought that would be an incredible idea to make it feel like you're traveling along a river as you're eating your dinner or your lunch.
That's cool.
I like
That'd
that.
be really cool. Yeah.
What kind of food would your restaurant have? What do you think?
See, I would love to, like, have you ever eaten at one of those, like, all-you-can-eat sushi places where you can, like, touch a touch screen with, like, what you want, and then they just show up, like, later on? Like, instead of writing down your order or whatever. Spencer seems very intrigued by this.
Like, I go to those so much, and they've all been closed because of COVID, and I miss it. I miss my conveyor belt sushi where you touch it on a touch screen and it just whooshes over. It's the best thing ever, because it's like you get the best of both worlds, where you don't have to like have it just slowly rotating around for other people to sneeze on or whatever. It just comes to you like on request. It's the best.
Don't they have things in Japan where it's like there's like a hatch door like next to your table and they just like slide the food out of there or something?
Oh yeah,
isn't that a thing?
I had them do that once for me at a ramen restaurant, but never for sushi.
Oh, okay.
That's cool though.
I'm so hungry.
Oh yeah, so food. Like, I didn't picture that exactly that, but I like the idea of like, I mean, there being like somebody who like specifically like brings you your food and everything, but something so that you can actually like, if you need something, you could just like request it on like a pad or something. But then I was also thinking like, the prices are insane. So I like the idea of like a prefix menu, but maybe like you get to pick like 5 items, like some kind of like mini appetizer, and then like a starter or like a soup, and then a meal, and then a dessert. Like I like that about the quick service like dining plan, where you get like a main meal with a side and a dessert and a drink, but that at like a sit down place, but a little bit cheaper priced. Because it is this kind of like prefix menu, you get to pick like one thing from each sort of tier, like a fast pass.
Yeah, I like that. That's cool. I like that idea, and it fits the theme so well as well. It's just like so like cool.
Something, a little bit of food from all over the place.
Yeah, I like that. Spencer,
I like that.
Spencer, since we moved cameras a bit, Narnia's gonna go first. So I want to know your, not your e-ticket attraction, but give me like your secondary, dark ride or something.
Let's see. I didn't actually think of a secondary. I only thought of the e-ticket.
You only thought of the e-ticket?
Have Miss Allison. If you have Miss Allison go, give me like 2 minutes and I'll like think up something for the dark ride.
Okay. If anything, like we can also collectively think of something for that theme. But I'll give you some time to maybe give us like a starting point, and we can think of something together. Miss Allison, what do you got for Disney Seasons?
Okay. Okay, I wrote it down. So, was thinking of doing a boat ride that's kind of like a combination of Living the Land and Kilimanjaro Safari, where you would be taken through, so it would be like cute and also have like this educational component. Travel through, and you have kind of like land used to have like an actual person giving you the spiel, talking about, have something like that. And
Miss Allison, I'm sorry.
Learning.
I don't know if this is everyone, but I hear you breaking up. So I'm gonna give you.
Yeah, she pops in and out like every other word.
Do you want me to down you?
Say that again. Let's do. Let's do this. I'll go. I'll go, you can come back on, get off and come back on, and then we'll go from there, okay? All right. I see hand motions. All right. So, Big Hero 6, my attraction, my family-friendly attraction will be called Big Hero 6 Battle for San Francisco. And essentially how I'm thinking about it is kind of okay, so think of the ride vehicles of like Spider-Man here at Islands of Adventure in Orlando. But the thing is, you have a roster of all the characters from Big Hero 6, and you can essentially pick who you want in the queue. You can pick who you want to be, and you can also like customize their like armor colors and stuff. So it has that factor of being able to like choose and like modify your character,
like Test Track.
But like Test Track. But like on the ride, everyone will have like a specific, like, I don't know how we'd do it, but you'd kind of be like interacting with what's happening. But depending on what character you are and what character you chose, you'll be able to do different things in the ride. So like if everyone picked Honey Lemon, you'd all be throwing like chemical balls at like the villains in the ride and stuff. If you pick Wasabi, you'd have like these like lasers that you would like put your arm out and lasers would come out. And then like what is it? Baymax, you would have like rockets. You'd be able to shoot out of your wrists. Go-Go would have like these magnets that you'd be able to like, these magnetic discs you'd be able to like throw, and then you'd have like a button. So then you would press that button and like the magnetic pulse would like people, and then they would come back to you. But essentially what it is, it's like there's just like a bunch of like, I don't think it's gonna have to do with like the movie itself, so it won't be that same villain. But now that we have this Big Hero 6 like TV show, we have so many other like villains that we can go through. So it's kind of like Spider-Man, that you have like the Sinister Six kind of thing, or I forgot what they're called in there. But you have like a bunch of different villains, and essentially the team just needs to like battle them and like fight them. And then at the end, we'd have that. But yeah, my biggest thing was the fact that like you can choose which character you wanted to be on the ride. So you have 6 different characters, and then each ride is kind of like different, because you can do different things with each of the characters, and it affects, like how everyone else plays in the team as well. So I think that'll be fun. I don't know. But yeah, that'll be Big Hero 6 Battle for San Francisco.
Would this be largely screen-based, I'm guessing?
So I honestly want to do like a mix. I want to do a mix of screens and animatronics. It'll be kind of like a quick, like moving ride sort of thing. So you can essentially like come into some place and it'll be like animatronics, and then like in that scene, let's say like the door like busts open and there's like a bunch of smoke, and then you would fly into the next section of the ride, and then that next section could be screens, and then that's when you're like battling with the villains. But yeah, it'll definitely be like a mixture of both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, I like it. It's a good seat-ticket attraction.
Yeah, I was like, and it'll be fun for like everyone. Like everyone can pretty much ride it. kids, you know, adults. Thanks.
Yeah, it's a good idea. It's like it's fleshed out too, and I can like see it happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Of
course.
Miss Allison,
you back?
Are you with us? Because I have her idea here, but if she's there, I want her to say it.
Okay. Let's try this again. Have my sound sounding chopped up?
Not as bad, honestly.
This is something that I encountered with my internet issues. If you have like the YouTube open to look at the live chat, just close it for a little bit. It saves you a ton of bandwidth, even if you have like the video paused.
Let's close that. Okay, I closed out. Is that better?
Let's see how it goes.
Maybe not.
It sounds better, yeah.
You can, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna try again. If not, Eric, I gave Eric a description, so if anything, maybe he could read it to you. Okay.
I got it.
So, I was thinking was a boat ride that's a combination of Living with the Land and Kilimanjaro Safari.
Ooh.
Very nice.
So, how originally in Living with the Land, there was a person that was at the front of the boat that would describe everything. I would like that. And you would be taken through around the world, and you would learn about the dry season or rainy season or, winter season. You would learn about how animals will survive and find food as the seasons change. I'd like to have some, how when Living with the Land, there's a section where you see this. I would like a section where you see live animals.
Section where you see live animals, yeah. You're cutting off just a little bit.
I got the gist of what she said, though.
Yeah, right?
Your vision was clear.
I'll recap. Yeah, I'll recap just in case. So it is, she said, it's a combo of Living with the Land and Kilimanjaro Safari. She wants it to be very pretty, but at the same time educational about different seasons from around the world. Learn about how animals, learn about the animals that live in there and how they stay safe, find food and all that during the different seasons that happen throughout the world, and how those, seasons affect the animal kingdom, essentially, where they're at. Yeah. And it's not that it's going to be animatronic animals. She wants live animals in the attraction. So that'll be kind of cool.
Yeah. This is so cool because when I was talking to you, Eric, last week about this whole thing, I was trying to expand upon this idea and I was at a roadblock. So I'm really happy that Allison went this direction because it was something that I definitely wanted presence in the park, but I couldn't make it work. But I love all of these ideas.
Yeah, absolutely.
I caught a thank, so I assume you meant thank you. You're welcome.
All right. Ms. Allison, do you want to add anything else? You can message me if anything, okay? We'll move to Jilly, and then you can have some time to get off and get on and stuff like that, and we'll test from there, okay? All right, Jilly, let's talk about your attraction there.
All right, so I actually didn't go for a dark ride. I went with more of a interactive experience, if you will. So I definitely wanted to bring back, I know there is a sort of animation academy in Earth-Viki's Planet Watch currently, but I wanted to bring that back full force to my Artland, but also expand upon that. So though we will have the OG Animation Academy where you learn to animate a Disney character, I also kind of wanted different sections of it, so you get to experience all the elements of how they used to make an animated film, like back in like Walt's day and like till now. So I wanted also a section where you learn how to paint or color the actual animation that would be put up on screen. Cool. So like that'd be really cool for like kids and families to do, to like paint these. Were you saying something, Eric?
Oh, I was like an ink and paint like class. How to like paint the cells.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
And then also something a little different, learn how to add sound to a scene or like Foley a scene. So like you go back and watch like old animations when they would like make a crashing sound and they'd like throw something down on the floor. Like those type of things, so you can kind of create your own like miniature scene. So yeah, like I wanted an animation academy, but all elements of animation you learn how to do, not just the drawing aspect. And yeah, that was my experience idea.
I like that. I like the whole Foley, the different steps of the animation process. The fact that you have, presentation there, I think is so cool. A voice acting section would be cool tue.
Oh, that would be cool too. Also, a layering of a scene. They used to have like the different elements, so you would layer up.
Yeah.
You can have like that, create, give them different options, and you could just mix and match. Beauty and the Beast scene, and like that works.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I like that. I really do.
Thank you.
I like the fact that you're bringing like the Animation Academy back. I'm a big fan.
I used to love that. And especially, I love those big pencils they give you.
The most important part of the animation process.
Yes. The big pencils.
I like that. Spencer, are you ready, or would you like us to go to Tyler?
I'm ready. So I did say originally that most of my land was going to be based around just The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. But when Miss Allison was talking about her boat ride, imagination struck. And I realized that you can literally turn the story of the voyage of the Dawn Treader into a boat ride. It is a boat movie. Like it's something that just fits perfectly. You don't have to make it like this big e-ticket attraction. But it definitely, boat rides are people eaters. Voyage of the Dawn Treader is one of the okay-ish books in the series, but again, it's something that you can't pass that up. It's too perfect to not do. It also tramples on my idea for an e-ticket a little bit, because if I do the other thing I was thinking for my e-ticket now, it'll seem lazy. But this is also the only idea I had so far. So,
oh, interesting. So I like that. What? So like the book that you're basing your boat ride on is very much like your ride vehicles wouldn't be like It's a Small World kind of boats, or like they would be kind of like more grand in scale, or like looking. What do you think?
I mean, for space reasons, you'd probably have to make them the size of It's a Small World. Make it like a lifeboat from the actual Dawn Treader,
okay, a lifeboat.
I don't think you could make... You probably couldn't make like a really compressed, like fitting into a show building kind of thing with these big grand boats. If you were going to do that, then it would have to be a simulator ride and not a boat ride, you know, so.
Yeah. Like I'm thinking the boats from Maelstrom. They were a little bit more elaborate than, you know, like the It's a Small World ones.
Oh yeah, of course.
That's what I was picturing too.
Yeah, like they actually looked like a sea, you know, kind of a sea boat. Listen to me.
A Viking longboat, yeah.
Yeah.
I know what you mean. For feasibility reasons, you probably couldn't make like little tiny ride vehicles that look like these giant galleons or anything. But I think you could theme it maybe as like a lifeboat from the Dawn Treader, maybe, or like just a smaller kind of. It's still very ornate, you know. Again, this kind of totally tramples on my idea for an e-ticket, but it was the only idea I had. So if anyone has anything that could replace that, that would be great.
Well, no, we'll let you think then. We'll do e-tickets in a moment. Tyler, what do you got for like a smaller attraction in your section?
This is something I also talked about on Ride Rehab, and now that it's sort of free from the constraints of Adventureland, Lord Henry Mystic has created sort of like Lord Henry Mystic has created some kind of like not a house like he had before, but more like a theater type, like theater in the round. See, we were trying to like rehab Tiki Room, and I'm like, boy, this would work great for like a Mystic Manor type thing. But honestly, like I still like the idea of this being a theater in the round. He just got this new artifact, and it's called the Shiriki Utundu, and he wants to show it off. No. And Albert knocks it over, and the theater like goes entirely dark. The Shiriki Utundu is now floating in the air. And it feeds on people's fears. So all of like the artifacts have like come to life, and each one gets a chance at like scaring the audience, kind of like Tough to Be a Bug. And then at the end, Albert, like, I don't know, traps it in a box or something. And then I like the idea of there being a physical Lord Henry Mystic and an animatronic Albert. Or like maybe Albert's like a puppet, like, you know how a Dreamfinder used to hold Figment when they were walk around characters, something like that. Because I like the idea of there being like a fun meet and greet, like you know how Enchanted Tales with Belle, like halfway through they're like, all right everyone, stop enjoying the show, these children now need to take pictures of me, like that. But they do it at the end of the show, something like that. You know, like a sit down sort of like show, but mixed with making it like some kind of like Stitch's Great Escape, Alien Encounter kind of horror type attraction.
I like that though.
I'm like,
that's cool.
I think that'd be so much fun, and I want to go on that really, really badly.
That
Spencer has
is
thoughts.
Amazing. The problem with that is that you then seal yourself off from two of the most important sea characters, like the best known ones. You can't use them for anything else. You couldn't have like Shiriki Utundu in like a different version of the Tower of Terror that was rethemed to this or something, like, because he's only in this Tiki Room refurb. Like, I love it. This sounds amazing, and I so want to go on it, but you're also locking yourself in, and I think that's like the biggest problem with this.
Well, it's like, you know how when you like go on Dinosaur and you're like, why are there other time travel vehicles? Like, are we only on the one that Dr. Seeker is like you go on the Millennium Falcon attraction, you go on Smuggler's Run, and the Millennium Falcon is outside, and then when you get inside the pre-show, like you don't see it anymore, but then you see it moving like down lower on the platform, and then like it's only for you, like you are the only one riding it, like you passed by it outside, but nobody was on it until you got in the show. But then like, oh, we got to fix it up, let's park it back outside, and then by the time you get back outside, there it is again. That's the Falcon that you just rode. Like, that's the sort of reality of being in that. So like, I get like, you could still be like, oh yeah, you could still go on Tower and there's the Shirikyu Tundu, and then you can go on something like this, and they could be like, we just acquired it, and like it will, like maybe we'll put it back where it belonged, like at the end of the ride, and then you could just like, by the time you go on Tower, like there's more than one Mickey.
I did, well, yeah, and I also, like, in the middle of that, I also realized, like, it's a cursed idol. There could be, like, more than one manifestation of the cursed idol. And I also, like, I didn't mean to, like, I also, like, did not want to dump on your idea at all. I love it so much, and I definitely want to go on this. I'm sorry if that came off, like, really, really mean or anything.
There's like, you have to like, no kid is going like, I think there's 2 Mickeys. You go to Fantasy, or you go to Storybook Circus, and I'll go to Main Street, and there are walkie-talkies, and it's like, I'm looking at Mickey right now. Well, I'm looking at Mickey. No, I knew it. There's 2 Mickeys. Like, no one's doing that. Like, the idea that Mickey was there and now he's like on this thing, like, you suspend your belief, or you suspend your disbelief. I don't know. I don't know what that is. You suspend your disbelief that that Millennium Falcon is the one you're on when you're on the ride, for example, or like you were the only one who crashed into Rise of the Resistance, for example.
La 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 la.
Sorry, I forgot. Sorry.
Trying to keep as much of that ride fresh as possible, because I was supposed to go on it last week, and then all of this happened, and now I'm so upset because I have to wait another year to get on rides. I'm really upset about that.
Dinkelberg.
Look at Miss Allison's frozen pose. It's amazing. She was stuck like this for like a minute.
The chat says Albert almost killing people again. I mean, there wasn't really a huge threat in Mystic Manor. Although I guess the room was like exploding. Never mind.
It's okay. Jilly like totally spoke my mind with the Dinkelberg thing. That is exactly how I feel right now about what's going on. Just like COVID, like that kind of thing. Because I was also supposed to go to Hong Kong for the first time in March, and I was gonna go ride Mystic Manor, which I have not done either. Like, I had so much excitement about all of this. That is my brief rant. I'm sorry, Tyler. Your ride is awesome, and your show is awesome, and I want to go see it so much.
Yeah, it's funny. Like, honestly, anything that Tyler's gonna say, like, I love C so much. It's just like, dude, I don't care. Like, yeah, do everything.
I don't know. But you don't want to hear my next
do
ride.
Everything.
Well, like, the funny thing is,
I look forward to hearing your next ride. Yeah.
Thing is so good at the same time. So it's very much just like, I'd be happy with anything, and then you have those situations at Disney that you're like, oh, well, not everything, okay, but no, everything that you're saying is so good that it's just like, yep, I'm so down. Well, let's see here, Miss. Let's go to Jelly. Yeah. Jelly, give us your e-ticket attraction. So we're gonna be doing that. Yeah, I want to know what the big lines are gonna be.
All right, so I have an idea, but I don't know how the idea will be executed. So it's kind of like, use your imagination. So what I want it to be like is almost like you are shrunk down and you are following along with Walt as he's creating the short Plane Crazy for the first time.
Oh, okay.
So I want you to actually like be on like like on the paper, and there's like a big like pencil. It's definitely going to be like a screen attraction. I want it to be like Flight of Passage, because I want you to be like but I want it to be like entirely enveloped into it.
Ooh, okay.
And so like you are like a tiny thing standing on like his desk as this is happening, and you're like following along with the process of like the entire film being made. Again, don't know how exactly it's going to happen, but that is my concept, and this is why Imagineers exist, and that is why I'm not one of them. But yes.
I like just that premise. You know, it's such a cool thing, and again, like, you know, everything that you're thinking of, like, really fits extremely well into your whole theme of your land, but you're taking like different, you know, different things that are also like important, you know, to be able to like, see Walt, you know, like create this wonderful short, you know, is such a cool thing. Were you thinking of us being like a character, like us in the perspective of Mickey?
No, I think it's like you accidentally got put there. Like this is a strange way to relate it. But as I was saying earlier before we went on, I watched Charlie and the Chocolate Factory the other day. You know how like Mike TV gets shrunk down and he's like in the TV, but he's not supposed to be there?
Okay.
Kind of like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Everything's going along as if you're not there, but you're there.
Yeah, but you're there. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah.
Huh. I like that.
That's the best I could do.
No, it's cool though.
No, that's good.
Thank you. So yeah. There's a weird silence.
Sorry,
I can't help but wonder though, like, just because like Steamboat Willie is much more memorable, you know. Did you ever consider
and I
that
had
one?
That thought. I did. I very much did consider that. I don't know. I mean, you could take it that way too. I just thought it could also be like an educational moment and like have some people learn like this as, like you didn't know this is the first thing he created. You know, everyone knows Steamboat Willie, but you may just want to like introduce people to like the OG and something they may not have known, and just
maybe
like
that would be interesting. Yeah.
Because I don't think them knowing what you're making is like an integral part to it.
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah,
I suppose. Yeah, I'd write it. It sounds fun.
Yeah, honestly.
Thank you,
my friends. We are gonna be doing a little speed round. So we're gonna keep our pitches extremely short, because we also need to pick a map for our theme park and a name and stuff, and we got to do it in
Eric.
In what?
Eric just randomly muted.
Yeah.
We got to do it in 20 minutes. Sorry, I hit my mute button.
20 minutes.
We got my mute button here. So yeah, Tyler, e-ticket attraction. Go.
Well, I'm once again going to appeal to Spencer. Like Journey to the Center of the Earth, but if it was more themed to that volcano coaster that they never ended up making. But I would want it to be more like the way Journey into the Center of the Earth is. And I, like, during Ride Rehab, we came up with a terrible C member, and his name is Rick Blastly, just for the terrible pun. And yeah, blast expert, first time in C, and he completely ruins it for himself. Kind of like whatchamacallit, Rex in Star Tours. He just keeps messing up every single time he's trying to bring some guests and show them the volcano. And Spencer's about to bring more stuff in. But yeah, that's my e-ticket. I love the idea of there being the little the area that's sort of like the excavation area, and then having like this big cool volcano as like the centerpiece of a land, or sort of like the horizon line of that land. But yeah, that's my idea, is really cool volcano coaster, or
nice
EMV type, right? Enhanced motion vehicle, EMV. Yeah.
I was just going to say real quick, Tom has me buy the damnedest things, and one of the things he had me buy recently is a little toy journey to the center of the earth.
I want that.
It's really
I don't
cool.
know where I'd put that.
But he will. It's actually part of a whole Disney Sea set where they have like all these different attractions and stuff. And all the little ride vehicles move, and Tom wants me to find the rest of these, but so far we've only found Journey. And he will not let me open it, which I'm upset about. And then just the other thing real quick, I don't know what this is, but they released it at the Hotel Miracosta at the same time the Tower of Terror opened. And it's just, I don't know what this is, but it says New York City Preservation Society on it. So
that's so cool.
I thought of that. I don't know why.
Challenge,
but yeah, Tom has me by the damnedest things.
I like that though. Miss Allison, let's see if we can hear you. Tell us a little bit about your e-ticket attraction.
Okay, let me test the waters. So I need e-ticket attraction that is similarities to Escape from Gringotts. Is everybody able to hear me there?
Yes.
Yeah.
You sound great, yeah.
Yeah? Okay. I'll keep going. So similar to Escape from Gringotts, fewer screens, a little bit more mechanics, and you start off in the winter, and it's lovely and beautiful, and then the winter is going to start to thaw out and become the spring. So at first it's nice and slow, and then as it's starting to thaw out, the ride suddenly starts to get a little bit more crazy as like things start to melt, and you're kind of on this journey as things are melting and all that kind of stuff. And then at the very end, it opens up into this beautiful room, and it is springtime, and there's like sense of floral around you.
I like that.
I like that too.
Yeah.
It's cool that we don't have something at Walt Disney World using that kind of ride system. So I feel like that'll be a good fit. And especially for something like that, it's cool that it's not only going to be like Star Tours or something like that, because that would have been just really easy to kind of just like, oh yeah, Star Tours, but then, overlay it like this. But I like that.
Thank you.
Spencer. Yeah. Spencer, what's your e-ticket?
So, like I said earlier, my C-ticket kind of stomps on the toes of my e-ticket because I came up with my e-ticket first. My e-ticket was going to be a trackless ride that takes you through a journey, like what we're going to get with the Enchanted Tale of Beauty and the Beast, where it's a trackless ride that takes you through the story of Beauty and the Beast. It was going to be a trackless ride that takes you through the story of The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, which I then stepped on by doing the boat ride through Voyage of the Dawn Treader. But I like the e-ticket better, so that is what will stay if one of them has to go. I thought that there could be like a lot of, you go through scenes like, you enter through the wardrobe. That's where your ride vehicle starts, and you go through winter with the lantern and through Tumnus's house, and then you meet the White Witch and get imprisoned in the castle, go through like the battles and the journeys, and at the very end when they kill Aslan and he comes back to life, and you exit through the castle, which you also happen to dine in, but it's not the same structure. We covered that part already. So yeah, it's a journey through the original movie. And that is the one that will stay if we have to change the C-ticket, because the e-ticket is better.
Very cool. My attraction is it's a suspended roller coaster. And Colleen, if you're there, I do have some reference photos. 'Cause Cedar Point has these, and it's called the Iron Dragon.
We have that at Wonderland in Canada.
There we go. So I'm thinking something like that, and it'll be called Baymax Takes Flight. So you're essentially just riding on Baymax, like Hero does in the movies. And
cool.
it wouldn't have any loops or anything like that, but you would be able to like get pretty high, you know. And I want, like, at first, I want it to be very like windy, like if Baymax doesn't know how to fly yet, kind of thing. And then out of, you know, almost at the end, then you do get those big, you know, swoops, and, you know, you're flying through like the city kind of thing. I think that would be fun for an e-ticket, because we don't have a suspended coaster. We have Rock and Roller Coaster here and stuff like that, but we don't have anything like that. Like, I would say, quote unquote, intense. Yeah.
All right.
That'd be cool. I think we are in desperate need of having like a real thrill coaster.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Just like that, Miss Allison. Just like that. So, my friends, we have 4 different park maps that we need to decide on what's gonna be our layout for this for our park. So let's see here. Colleen, if you can just pick whichever. So we have that park right there, which is, you know, simple layout, kind of reminds you of Magic Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
We have like the spoke, the icon in the middle, and then it kind of branches out to our lands. We have the following map.
Like the next one?
Yeah, the next map. There we go. So this one's pretty wild.
Yeah.
The red part is the entrance of the park.
Oh.
Then this one has, you know, different areas. Not all areas are the same, you know, size, so you can play around with that. We have another park map, which, you know, this one's very different. Big area for like the beginning, for the entrance, for all those shops, and then you have some like big sections for areas. We have small sections. That yellow section even has like a small little island that you would need to go get to, but it is part of your section there. And then our last and final map, kind of like an Epcot kind of thing. You have, you know, just circular. Very influenced by Epcot, by Islands of Adventure as well. You have to go all the way around. You can't like cut across or anything like that. So you get to explore that. But what do you guys think? My friends in the chat, what do you guys think of what park map layout we should go for? And what do you guys think here? Did any of them scream out to you?
I like the first and the third. I kind of like the ability to enter and exit at different points, and like not having to go through everything to get to another one. That's just me.
I like that. With the last one, like Universal doesn't really do it, but with the last one, I feel like you're a little bit more forced to have things flow. I mean, like Universal doesn't really do that, but like if I'm picturing a theme park to have some kind of flow, I'd want it to really be able to flow into each other. And I feel like if you wanted to change a land down the line, that would be a little bit more difficult to do. I mean, I like it. It's visually, like aesthetically pleasing, that shape of the map, but I'm not sure, it might be a little bit difficult to do with that one.
Yeah.
I had to step away for a second. Can you cycle through the maps again, please?
Yeah. I'm leaning towards that one. This one's cool too, though.
I like 1 and 3.
I like the last two that we just saw. Those looked good.
The last two, they're very different.
The Epcot one, Miss Allison is right. With the Epcot style one, if you're Disney, you're gonna want to try and make them flow, and it just locks you in so much. It also makes it very difficult to have a lot of contrasting themes because you have to worry about sight lines across the water. You have to worry about sight lines next to each other. You have to make sure that everything flows together and doesn't like Toy Story to Galaxy's Edge in Hollywood Studios, because I hear that's a terrible transition. And with the Magic Kingdom one, you know, the hub and spoke model like that, it really only works at a castle park. And it seems to me that we're not designing a castle park. With Hollywood Studios, with that layout, that's always felt weird to me. I think the only other park that's been able to pull off the hub and spoke effectively that isn't a castle park is Animal Kingdom.
True.
Everything else always feels disjointed unless it's a castle park, because that's how castle parks are. I think that the last two that you just scrolled through there would be the best designs. The question, comes down to is which of those two?
Yeah.
I just don't like dead ends. My problem with studios is like having to get to Rock and Roller Coaster and Tower, and then if you want to go anywhere else, you have to walk all the way back down that street instead of just looping around into Toy Story Land.
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah. So for sure, we're not going to pick any of the ones that we essentially have here at Walt Disney World. We'll go for one of the other two. One of the other two ones there. But yeah, I Colleen, if you're there, can you put those other two there, and we'll do a quick vote for those two. The ones that look like blobs and don't look like Epcot or Magic Kingdom.
That one?
Yeah.
Pentagram
that one is
square.
Is that Tom?
Yeah, the blob.
And that one.
Yes, Tom's here.
The blobs one.
I call that one Busch Gardens because it always has a.
So what do you guys think? Tyler, we'll go with you first.
Of course. I wasn't ready. I kind of like the sort of pentagram square one, just because I've never seen like a main street type area that's so like open and walkable. Although I guess you want shade depending on where it's going to be. But the other one like is more like Busch Gardens, where it's like, oh yeah, main area, one shop, and then that's it. Like there's literally no main entrance area, which I guess is fine. I think that one you wanted like the icon being so big right in the front of the park, and then that's it. So I kind of like the pentagram square one.
Okay. Julie, what you got? What do you think? A or B?
I like the one that had, I think it's the same one that Tyler said, the one with the little island off of it.
Okay.
Yeah. I like that one. The other one looked too confusing, and just I do like the idea of having kind of more segmented, and I feel like that one has a little more segments to it, while still like being able to navigate easily.
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah, and also like a little island is cool. Reminds me of like Sicily.
Yeah, so out of all of these, I'm gonna pick the one with the little island as well. Not necessarily meaning that like San Francisco would like fit there, but I think it would be a cool area for someone to have. Like Spencer, I feel like would benefit from that little island. Like he'd be able to do some type of transportation or something to that little island. and have that little island be drastically themed different, but still fit into the Narnia aesthetic. Yeah, so I'm gonna pick that one as well.
In theory,
Allison, what you got?
I think it could be
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the one with the tiny island is with the big kind of pentagram-esque square. Is that correct?
No, so that's the other one.
Oh.
The Pentagon looking one is one that's just, they're just very out there.
Them again. I'm so sorry.
Colleen, if you're there.
If she's not there, if it's too tough, like I don't want
What do you
to
want?
pull her away from.
What's the question?
Those two really quick again.
What ones? What? This?
The blob looking ones.
The one with the tiny island coming off it.
Oh yeah, actually.
This blob?
The one with the kind.
The blobs?
There we go.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that's good.
You got 3 minutes.
Also,
I see with this one. I like the other one more. I mean, if the one that we just saw, yeah, the one with the kind of pentagrammy thing with the island is the same one.
yeah.
That one. I don't really like that one. The only reason why I don't like this one is because the kind of purpley section and the kind of there was a bridge or something to connect those. Kind of that pinkish sort of ended almost at a dead end, and like you can see the purpley area, and you're like, I'm so close, I can't get over there.
I feel you. Spencer, really quick, what do you think? Which one would you like?
My vote clearly doesn't matter, but I'll go with the one with the tiny island.
Tiny island. It does matter. That was the one that won. So our park map was that right there. And up, let's see here. Adam had a really good idea for the name of the park. We'll call it Disney's Islands of Imagination.
That might be a little too on the nose.
Right? But hey, it works. It works. Guys, I want to
quick park icon.
I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much, you guys right here, for joining me today and all these weeks that we have been doing the Wolf Den. I love it. I love it so much. And again, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys haven't seen the Wolf Den before, this is your first episode. You can go back on YouTube. We have some more episodes right there that you guys can check out, and check out all the different Walt Disney World News Today, WDWNT live shows that we've been doing this whole time. Who knows? I'm thinking of possibly coming back for some more for another show, but that'll be an announcement for another day. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much again for joining and for seeing the show. You guys have a good day.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.